This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Welcome back to Money Monday with Foster Financial. Today we're going to talk about everyone's favorite subject, which is Social Security, and dive deeper into the tax element of it. And joining me today is Caleb Doane, their Vice President. Good morning, Caleb.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, so Social Security is one of those things that's just a big mystery, and I think the more we talk about it, people learn. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize this. And this is something today that I didn't realize. You have an option to take taxes out or not?
Yeah. You have an option whether to withhold taxes.
Okay.
Either way, it's going to be taxed, but you can choose whether to withhold directly from Social Security or not. Mm-hmm. And this is something that, especially over the last year, I think has gotten maybe less clear because there's been a lot of talk about no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and there were certain tax elements that were implemented in the bill that Trump signed into law back in 2025, but Social Security is still taxable. Okay. So the basic rule that was implemented is that there is an additional deduction for folks who are over the age of 65 as long as they meet certain income criteria. But Social Security taxation still stayed the same. So your overall taxes should go down from one year to another. But a lot of people are getting their Social Security cost of living adjustment letters in the mail, and it's saying, hey, your Social Security is going up 2.8% in 2026, which is great. We get a little bit of a raise there. But it'll also tell you how much you're withholding voluntarily from your Social Security. Okay. And so people are kind of wondering, hey, I've heard stuff in the news about, maybe Social Security isn't being taxed anymore. Right. I was withholding 10%. Should I still be withholding? I would probably tell people yes, that for the most part, people should still be withholding from their Social Security. Your overall taxes will likely go down because of that additional deduction that people are getting from the bill that Trump signed into law last year. But Social Security is still taxable. So you don't want to get hit with a surprise bill next year when you go to file your taxes. Okay, so first thing, this does not apply to us that's contributing to Social Security that's under the retirement age. Yeah. This is for 65 and up, 62 and a half? You can turn it on as early as 62 or as late as 70. Okay, and so I have so many questions. One, why did they say no tax on Social Security if that's not the case? Like, can you make that kind of tangible for us? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the question of why do politicians say anything? I mean, it's certainly catchy to say no tax on Social Security. And I think that was the original goal that they had set out to do. Unfortunately, that proved a little more difficult than maybe what they were able to do legislatively. And so instead of actually changing the tax laws around Social Security, they just added an additional deduction that folks can take. So even if they normally take the standard deduction, you can still tack on this additional, what they're calling the senior bonus of $6,000 per spouse. So it was kind of a roundabout way to lower your overall taxes, but your Social Security is still taxable, unfortunately. I wish that we could just take away that taxation, but it's still there for now. Hey, maybe we can aim on income taxes. Yeah, exactly. Let's take that away. But so how do people know how much to withhold as they are collecting their Social Security? So most people in retirement, there's a lot of people in the 12% marginal tax bracket in retirement. So that is a common thing to withhold from Social Security, is around 12%. In Indiana, the state of Indiana does not tax Social Security, so you don't have to withhold anything from a state perspective on your Social Security. But it's also important to note that at the max, only 85% of your Social Security benefit is taxable. So if somebody were to get, $20,000 a year in Social Security benefits, just for round numbers, 85% of that would show up as taxable income on their taxes at the end of the year. So oftentimes if people are in the 12% tax bracket, maybe they only withhold 10% from Social Security. That's probably the most common thing to withhold. And I'm usually a big fan of withholding from every type of income that you're receiving. There are some people that maybe they're still working and collecting Social Security at the same time. They just withhold a lot more from their job to kind of cover Social Security. Sometimes that can be a little bit more of a guess and a check type of a game. So usually I like to withhold from every income source. So oftentimes it's a good idea for people to do that.
Just to be clear, and again, they're withholding it temporarily in a sense. So just because they withheld it doesn't mean they're going to lose it. It's the same thing when they file their taxes. Then it all gets kind of checks and balances, and they may get a return on their taxes because of it. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the year, we're going to take a look at, all right, here's your overall tax liability, here's what you withheld, and now we have to settle up. So if you withheld a little too much, you'll get a nice return. If you didn't withhold enough, you're going to have to owe in. Most of the time, people prefer to either break even or get a slight return. Usually people don't like to get a surprise bill where they have to pay in a couple $1,000.
That's not fun.
Right.
Okay, so when we do our own income procedure, we fill out the W-2 and we're saying like how much to withhold or 1099, whatever it is. We're filling out a form to say how much we are withholding for income tax. How do people go about doing that if they want to withhold a certain amount for Social Security? Is there a form?
Yes, there is a form. I want to say it's the W-4V form. You can just Google it. It's on the IRS website. But there's a checkbox on there, and you can say how much you want withheld from Social Security. You sign it, you mail it into your Social Security office, and then that starts being withheld. And then you can have a little more confidence that you're probably withholding a correct amount at the end of the year, and probably are a little more likely to not owe in or get a little bit of a refund.
Okay, interesting. Well, thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. So fascinating. Well, you can find out more about Foster Financial and all of this good information by giving them a call. Their number will be listed below, and they do offer complimentary consultations. And I'll see you after the break.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.